Properties. Why do we have to learn properties? Just like anything in life, properties are just simply a descriptive word that helps us to understand kind of what we're doing. It puts a name to something. It helps us to understand just how we're going to reorganize some things. So let's just focus on the two that we get mixed up the most. So we have commutative property and associative property. These can be of addition or multiplication because both of those operations you can reverse. They're both reversible. So if I do 3 times 5 and 5 times 3, I get the same answer, right? That doesn't work for subtraction or division. So if you ever see that, it's a trick. Okay, so commutative and associative. Commutative property. If I were to just say 4 plus 1 is the same as 1 plus 4, in your math books, they're going to say, write the commutative property. That doesn't mean to solve it and say it's 5. We want to do that so bad, but that's not what it's asking. It just wants us to recognize that if I flip-flop, I call this the flip-flop property. If I recognize that 4 plus 1 gives me the same answer as 1 plus 4, then I'm done. I don't have to do anything else. So I think of commutative like commuting. So when you commute to work or to school, you're starting at home, you go to school, from school you go back to home, and it's the same result from your car. It's the same thing. So 4 plus 1 is the same as 1 plus 4. You can flip-flop them. Associative is a little different. Associative has to do with regrouping. So whereas this one is a flip-flop property, this one is regrouping. Okay, so think about if I use some of these similar numbers. Let's say I have 3 plus, and then in parentheses I have 7 plus 5. What regrouping or associative says is that I can shift parentheses and regroup in order to do something in my brain a little bit faster. So I don't know about you, but if I were to look at a 3, a 7, and a 5, I like to group them. I like to say, oh, well, 3 and 7 make a 10, and a 10 is really easy for me to add the next number to. So if I regroup, I might say 3 plus 7 in a group plus 5. Again, I'm not solving this. You and I both know that's 15, right? But that's not the point. Associative property simply says, do you realize that if we shift the parentheses over and regroup, I can do this mentally a little faster than I can do this. 7 plus 5, it's not really, really hard at all. But you know what's really not hard is 3 plus 7. Because 3 plus 7 gives me 10. So the whole idea behind associative property is regrouping. So sometimes if I'm thinking of a word to remind myself, I think about if I want to associate with somebody. The word associate sometimes means I want to be seen with them, I want to hang out with them, I want to work with them. If I don't want to be associated with you, I don't want to be seen with you or known by you, I want to reassociate myself with somebody else. I want to go find something else to do and someone else to regroup with. So think about that. It's just about shifting parentheses in order to do the mental math just a little bit faster. So commutative is the flip-flop property, where we just flip-flop them. Associative is a regrouping property, where all we're doing is grouping up different numbers that make things easier. Another thing to point out with associative, I did not change the order at all. This is still 3, then 7, then 5. 3, then 7, then 5. Do not change the order when you're regrouping. Just shift the parentheses over. Oh my goodness, so much to remember. But again, it's vocabulary, and all it's doing is helping you to name a process that we oftentimes do naturally, but it is still good to have some sort of a name that goes with it. Okay, good luck.